Welcome back. I'm Curtis Smith, filling in for John White with the Southern Questions and Answers. And one of the questions we get a lot of, and the one we're going to talk about today, is why do we see so many rock landscapes? Why are there rocks everywhere? Rocks make a good mulch and a xeriscape, but some of the landscapes aren't xeriscapes, they're just rockscapes. People wonder about that. And so we're going to discuss that with Master Gardener Annette Peterson, one of the Doñana County Master Gardeners, talk about all the mulches you can use down here, including the rocks, but they're rocks used to grow plants in.
That's right. We're seeing more and more rock mulches in the Southwest, and that's really a good thing because it keeps the roots warm when it's cold and cold when it's warm. It helps conserve water. So rock landscapes are very good, but we can't just have all rocks. That's not aesthetically pleasing. We need to put a lot of native plants in there and make it enjoyable at the same time.
If you have a lot of rocks, it also gets very hot for you.
Yes, it heats up the whole area. So it's nice to have a green area right by your house and then have your rocks and your native plants a little further out from your house.
This would be a good thing to use, though, but a lot of people put things underneath the rocks, don't they?
They sure do, and there's a tendency around here to put a lot of black plastic under the rocks. Now, Curtis, would you tell us why we don't want to do that?
I'd love to. I've seen a lot of dead plants when plastic was used. A lot of people put plastic under there, trying to keep the weeds from growing. Be aware, in New Mexico, the wind blows, the dust lands on top of the plastic, the weeds are still going to grow.
That's right.
So they'll be there. It interferes with the flow of oxygen from the air to the roots. Plant roots need air, so we have to have the air down there, but it also interferes with the flow of water if we ever get any precipitation.
If we ever get any rain.
And when we irrigate. We need the water to get down to the plants, so we can use some other materials. We don't want this impermeable barriers, but we've got things such as this weed barrier, which again the weeds are going to grow on top of once enough dust blows in. But it's a material that has pores in it that lets the water through, lets the air penetrate it. It does block the light, and so weeds underneath it can't come up.
Right. If you feel like you need something, but it's not a necessity to have something. You can have your rocks and just put them 3 or 4 inches thick.
If there's enough thickness, it's fine.
And some people think, well, once I put rocks in, it's maintenance free. Well, that's not really the truth. You still need maintenance on your rock landscape. You may have to replace the rocks.
But remember, you got plants above it too.
That's right. That's right. So you always have your plants. And we have a few samples of rocks here, but I'd like to tell the people there are several other rocks you can have. You can have various colors. A lot of people like the Crusher Fine. It's smoother, it packs down. So you might want to go out and look at the rocks that are available, and they're cheap.
Yeah, there's a pretty rose-colored one here, and it's angular, so it locks in, but if you got it up against the base of a plant, a tree, and it tries to grow, it can cut into the tree. Whereas we have some which are rounded, these pebbles, pea gravel, the trees can grow in that. And these are dark, they become fairly hot in the summer, whereas the crushed marble is white, and it reflects the heat, but it glares.
Yeah, and you really don't want to get these jam-packed against the crown of the plant.
That's right.
It'll do damage to your plant.
You know, there's different types of mulch for different plants. We've got these, which work very good with our native plants. But if we bring in some of the more exotic things from other areas, very often they do better if we don't use gravel, we use an organic mulch. And you've got some organic mulches for us to look at too.
We have some samples back here of organic mulches. We've got decorative bark, and you can get that in several sizes, small, medium, and large.
It doesn't work well on a slope though, because if there's any rain, it just washes right away.
No, you have a little problem with bark in this area also because of our intense winds.
Blow away.
Yeah, they blow away. Plus, if you put them around flowers, which look nice, then it makes it a little hard to dig them in around the flowers, and this breaks down very slowly in your soil.
It's good for walkways. It's good for around shrubs.
Yes.
And even some trees.
Trees or something like that.
And it's not going to hurt the bark of a tree.
There again, don't get it up around the crown of the tree.
Okay. And what do we have here?
We have a little compost.
You can use that.
You can use compost. You have to be careful. You can buy compost by the bulk, but you don't know what's in compost. A lot of it has weeds in it. Ask your nursery what the composition of the compost is, or read the label. Read the label of to see what you're getting.
And here's another one that won't have weeds in it.
No, it won't, but this is very, very expensive.
And it blows away very easy.
It blows away, it dries out, and then it's hard to rehydrate. So that's kind of nice in your pots, but not so great.
And then we've got these over here, some local things.
Well, I advise people to look around your area. There are mulches in your area that are natural. Some of them you can get for free. Some of them may cost you a little bit. This is just plain hay.
Alfalfa hay, which has a lot of nitrogen, so as it decomposes, it enriches the soil.
Oh, it's great. Although, there again, you may get weeds.
You can get weeds. And then what's this? I recognize that.
Well, I went out and got some pecan hulls. I thought at one point that these would be wonderful mulch, and they are wonderful mulch as far as nutrients go. However, some problems come with these.
You get the roaches, the squirrels, all these things coming into it. Annette, we thank you for this. There's a pecan. The squirrel would love that. But
get a lot of birds, too.
Thank you for showing us all these things.
My pleasure,
This
Curtis.
is something important for us. We want to do it right.
Thanks for coming down south.
Oh, I love it down here.